let me tell you a story. So, relationships are hard. Getting a relationship is hard. And I'm glad, like, so glad I'm not in one. And better yet, like, I was never in a relationship for, like, maybe the past 2 or 3 years. But there have been guys who, like, I thought about. Like, they were there. And I thought about, is it worth pursuing a relationship with them? And I got my answers. Like little one by one, little by little, I would figure out the answers that I was thinking about in the back of my head. Is it worth being in a relationship with them? And the longer you get to know someone, the more you find out about them, and that's exactly what happened. I found out, I hung out with people, I got to know them more on a more personal level, and then I figured out I kind of hate them. And I'm glad. Like it helped me realize that this is exactly what I don't want. And I'm not going to settle for anything less than what I want. And I don't think anybody should settle. Like you just shouldn't. Everyone should deserve to get exactly what they want. And it should be a mutual thing, not one person settling and one person being like, is this reality or is this real life? I don't know. I forget how that meme goes. Anyways, so I've been talking to this guy for like maybe the past 2 years. It was anything serious. Like the first time I met him, it was really simple. It was just like, oh, you're really cute. Oh, thanks, you are too. And I kind of kept up with that forever. And, like, there have been times where, like, it hit its highs where, like, you think something is going to happen. And then, I get bored and it drops. Like, I just totally lose interest in the guy and it's out. But, let's see. We were talking. It was at that point where it hit its high. This was probably, like, its climax. Maybe. Like, it hit a really high peak all of a sudden, and I was super giddy, super happy, ridiculously happy. I kind of hate myself for it now. It was at that time where when you hit that high, you get a little, like, you don't think. You hope. You hope, and then you have these expectations, and then you get all giddy over something that might not even happen. So, I had high hopes. And, only just recently, like, you find out things. And this time, it wasn't because I got to know him more. It was something that apparently he's been hiding. Alright, so this is not the first time that this guy has lied to me. He's hidden the fact that he had a girlfriend. And at the time, I didn't really care. I wasn't even all that interested in him. That was like a really low point, with my interest in him. And then, all of a sudden, like, when we were getting to that high, like, he told me that he had a girlfriend and he didn't want me to find out. And this was when I was kind of happy, and I took that in a flattering way instead of a more precautious way. And logically, I should have thought this guy is scum. He's talking to me when he has a girlfriend. That means that there's no commitment there. I can't trust him. But I was happy, and I was giddy and stupid, and I thought that, if this guy's into me, great on me. Sorry for the girl, but he likes me. I should have, but then, it only just recently kicked in that it could happen to me. Like, he could be, like, trying to start something with me, but then he's talking to somebody else. Ha ha ha, that's exactly what happened. He's talking to me, and he's talking to somebody else, except that somebody else is getting the attention that I used to have. And that's not even the most annoying part. The most annoying part is the fact that he is a really nice guy. He's just scum. Like, he really is just scum. And, like, this one time, like, he always sees me as a really happy and bubbly person. That is not me at all. Real life me, away from the camera, away from people I don't really know, I'm a terrible person. I insult my friends. I am very rude to them. The more you get to know me, the more real me you're gonna see, which is actually really crude, really rude, and a silver tongue. Like, I'm like fool's gold on the outside, hey, she's great. But then, like, on the inside, I'm kind of rotten. I can even admit that to myself because I'm not a nice person. But, so I snapped at him one day, and he takes it so personally. Like, oh my god, it's not even him who was the source of my anger at that day. He was just like this little irritating thing that I swatted away. And he took it so personally. He didn't talk to me for the longest time, even though I apologized, but I felt like I shouldn't have. I should not have to apologize for something that I'm feeling on a certain day. Like, I don't have to have a reason for what I'm feeling one day. I don't need to explain myself. Sometimes I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling without any reason behind it. You know those days when you just wake up pissed off and you don't even know why. Stuff like that. But I felt like I shouldn't have to apologize, but I did anyways. He put me on edge. And I think that in the time that we were not talking, he's been chatting with someone else. Because, the one time I go on his Facebook, that I even use Facebook, there's so many cutesy little messages between them. Like, oh, my boo, you're so cute, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, ha, 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 wow. If you are going to pursue someone, pursue one person, and don't bother with anybody else. I'm glad that this guy has shown his true colors. Like that he's a pretty face on the outside, but he's like a scumbag dude on the inside. I'm done. I'm so glad this knocks out one guy of the three that I wanted. Well, three that I was like debating between. Technically I should knock off another finger, but that's my personal life, and I'm not going to divulge into that really deeply. I'm just saying that, even though it sounds like I'm being like snarky, angry, or snide, happy, angry, I'm not. I honestly expected this a lot. When I first met him, and I was just like, there's no way that this guy is single. No. If you look at this guy, he's not the type to be single. Oh, well, he wasn't. During the time that he was talking to me, he was totally seeing somebody else. But he had interest in me. Scumbag. And, well, it wasn't gonna work between us anyway. When the revelation finally hit, I wasn't even surprised. I was just like, there was like this empty, cold anger. It wasn't full of passion. I wasn't going to get up in his face and yell and demand and get the answers that I wanted with fire. I was just like, I know. I knew. This is not new. It's not anything that's burning up a storm. It's just cold air. It's there. You don't have to ignite anything. It's just there. Well, this is a really long story, but whatever. This knocks out one guy off my list. I still need to think about the other one, and the last one, that's not even my choice anymore. I know what's on the table, and the ball's not in my court. So, done.